Hey everybody, it's Mr. Spencer Prime, and today I have a video review, this time of the Parrot AR Drone 2.0. As you guys see up there, it's a big box, so it doesn't all fit in the camera size. So, there you go, all the stuff, all the specs on the box. I will just show a little unboxing. I've already unboxed this, not on video though. So, HD camera, smartphone, Android app on, all that stuff, YouTube ready, and epic stuff like that. And there you have the drone itself. So there you go. There you have the bottom of the box. You have all this stuff, download AR free flight, and then, which is nice, you have 2 AR code scanners if you don't want to have to type. And then on the sides, all that stuff. Warnings on the bottom. This is a big box, everybody. Join the AR drone community, AR drone academy, all that stuff. You see there. Add a new dimension to your flight with augmented reality video games, which is why it's AR, augmented reality. At least that's what I think. And you have all those 4 epic games. I haven't played any of them, but I'm looking into it. I think they're all free, so watch the latest videos, all that stuff. I think that's an approved sticker, I'm guessing. Wi-Fi certified, all that stuff. And then a stabilization system, which works really well. You will see that later in the video. Photo, video, recording, 50 meter, 165 foot range for remote control, and real-time video feedback, although it does get a little bit laggy when you get pretty far back. And then you have an HD camera again, and all that stuff. And then you have a nice handle, because it isn't heavy, but it is big. And then we have the back of the box. You have all of the contents, all of that stuff on the bottom. And that, you guys can pause it if you want to read that. Electronic assistance. I'll zoom in for this stuff just for you guys. Here's the main body of the drone. Robust structure, HD video recording, AR drone 2.0, soar high, and stuff like that. So anyway, everybody, now that you guys have seen the box, let's open this up. So, okay. So, first, there is some tape here, but I already cut that off. And that's it. It's a nice big box. And there you have the drone. First here you have the battery, which is nice. And then you get all this nice stuff in here. All that, I will show that later in the video, so this doesn't take too long. You have warnings and stuff. And then you have the drone itself. We'll get to that later. It's in the indoor hull. And then down here we have the outdoor hull, which is nice. I got it in orange blue. And then we have sorry everybody. We have stickers here for when you want to play one of the augmented reality games. And then you have a manual, I'll just get that later. And then right there you have the charger, which I will get later, and the battery, I'll also get that later. And then you have that which you scan with the AR drone to make a racetrack. So now that you guys have seen the unboxing, let's check out the drone itself, and then finally you'll see how it flies. Okay everybody, so now that you guys have seen that sort of short unboxing in the box, First of all, we'll start off with the instructions and stuff. This is for the game. I don't remember, but you apply these stickers in specific places on your indoor hull of your AR drone, shown there on page 6 of the manual. Do not discard. This is for the multiplayer game AR Flying Ace. They must be stuck in these places, not exactly, but pretty close. So, there you have the manual in multiple languages. It's actually very short. The parts are very short, just basic stuff, how to flip and stuff, and the rest is in many different languages. So that's why it's thick. And Parrot, nice, very nice black and white Parrot logo, and Parrot, the bird. And next we have the charger, which is a nice black. You have all the caution stuff. So you guys can see that. Focus. There you go. And you do have this, which I will get to later. More of that stuff. And a nice dark plastic engraved Parrot logo. So you do get one battery, and these are like about $39, so they are not cheap. The battery life is only 8 to 10 minutes per battery. That is sort of disappointing. 1,000 milliamps, and then you see all that stuff there for you guys. And it takes an hour to an hour and a half to charge, and all you do is you put this in here and push it in. Now, I don't have it plugged in, of course, but you do. This turns red when it's charging, and when it's done charging, it will light up green. And I have experienced this problem multiple times, everybody, where this light starts blinking red. That means that you need to unplug your battery and re-plug it in, because there's something wrong with it. I don't know what happens there, but comment below if you know what that means. And next you have warnings. I'm not going to go through that. And then you have your 4 spare parts. They're not really spares because there's only 1 per country, and you get 4 for the 4 country English, Spanish, and then the other France and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know if that was correct. Correct me if that was wrong. But you do get 4 of these. They all come for the different country, so you can charge your drone. You know, you get this one, and so on. Then you get one that's looks like that. You know, the slanted one. So you get each one for each of the different plugs. But of course, I live in America, so I use this one. And you just twist it in there, and there you go. Now, if you want to switch it, you just press this little button here and twist it right back off. So that's nice, but I will leave that in there, and it comes conveniently in this nice little box. And there you go for the charger. So next, we will get to the outdoor hull. Nothing special. It's not cheap foam, but it is foamish. It's, you know, professional aircraft grade stuff, you know. What they always use for the professional RC helicopters, so it's not too heavy. But that's nice. It does come in 3 colors, orange, blue, orange, green, or orange, yellow, I believe, yes. And it always only changes these 2. It never changes this. This outside part, this orange part, will always come in orange. And on the left side, if you're looking at it from the front, it says Parrot. It says AR Drone 2.0 in that sort of, you know, like digital clock kind of font. And then on the right side, it says Parrot. And then you have all that stuff. Now, the only problem I've experienced since I live where it's hot, I have noticed that this is actually melting. What's happening is, as you guys see on this side, it's perfectly flat. You know, it's nice with the foam, but on this side it's all crinkled and it's receded, and if you touch this there is some adhesive here. So therefore my drone has been melting, just the outer hull, so just be aware of that, guys. This isn't the most expensive plastic, it's just to make it look nice, and this is mostly for protective purposes. So just be aware of that if you're living somewhere where it's hot. Then you have a magnet in here which connects this to the drone, and you slide this into the camera. So now that you guys have seen all of the accessories, now let's check out the drone itself. So everybody, here we have the AR drone itself with the indoor hull on, which is the main hull, you know what they always show in the boxes and the pictures and stuff. So first I will go over the indoor hull, and it just comes off here and you have to just slide it off, and it's the same foam as the outdoor hull except it protects the blades and whatever you hit, so that's nice. It says AR Drone 2.0 in that same font, Parrot, and then it should say the same thing on the other side. And of course there is foam in the middle, and it's almost the same plastic. It feels a little more firm, but not really. But mine hasn't melted because I've only used this like twice. I've only used this hull twice, so you know. And then there you go. They cut out stuff here to either to make it lighter, because this is still light but it's heavier than this, so either for looks or for, of course, light purposes. And then you have the hole for the camera and all that stuff. So we'll put this to the side because it is pretty big. And on to the drone itself. Now, looking at it, it's not the prettiest thing without these hulls and stuff, but it's where all the electronics are stored. So you get 4 rotating motors, all very flexible, so if it crashes, these propeller blades won't snap. And then right here in the front, this long nose part, you have the 720p HD front-facing camera, and on each of every rotor you have the circuit board, which controls the motors and all that stuff, you know, turning and stuff. Now the only thing that makes this scary to fly when it's wet is those circuit boards exposed. Now if they could have put some plastic barrier or just something, it would make it less terrifying to fly it when it's just drizzling rain. So that's my only scare problem. And I do, from what I've heard and what I think they are carbon fiber, the rods that hold the engines on, or the rotors. And you have the gears and stuff, so that's nice. And then on the bottom here you have rubber pads. So yeah, I do sometimes get scared that these sort of look like they are bent, but they aren't. But just, you know, it's kind of scary when you land, or an emergency button, which I will show later. You know, scary that it bends. Now all that stuff, yeah, you get the same foam here, but very little just to protect it more. And then on the bottom here you have this the sonar, which tells you how high you are from the ground. Like, it's in meters, so it's like 5 meters, 15 feet, and all that stuff. So this, you know, sonar, you guys know how that works. And then right here you have the, I think it's 240p bottom facing camera. It is really meant for navigation purposes, like where your drone is facing on the ground when it lands. So it's not really for taking pictures, because the quality is sort of like if you draw a picture with a crayon, it looks better with the crayon. That's it. Pretty bad quality. So there you have all that stuff if you guys want to read that. Reset down there, you have to press that with a toothpick or something. And then you have these 2 Velcro straps. And where did my battery go? Here it is. This is where you put the battery. So the way that they recommend it is the cord is facing away from the connection cord, and you put the cord over the battery so it's not all jumbled up in the back, and you just clip it on. and you just Velcro strap it on, and you slide on the hull, and there you go. You guys saw the engines. That shows that they're all working. Then you slide on the hull, connect your thing to your device to the Wi-Fi, and there you go. So you can fly. So basically, in order to remove the battery, all you do is you press this little lever and pull, and you can pull out the battery. And right here, you have this little socket here, and this is for USB recording. Like if you are going to fly for multiple minutes, if you have a bigger battery or more batteries, you can store all of your stuff on a USB stick instead of your phone or whatever device you are using. And now that does go on that little elastic socket, but you can just pull it out and put it where, and you know, put it to the side or something. And then this is sort of reinforced. Okay, everybody, so now that you guys have seen the drone itself, now we get to check out what the controls look like. Okay, everybody, so before you can fly your drone, you will need to download the AR Drone app. Looks like that on the home screen. I have an iPhone, so you know it could look different on yours. So your device, and after you've downloaded your what do you call it? Your app, and you've connected your drone, the battery to the drone, and and the engines have made that blinking sound. You will want to go to your Wi-Fi and connect to AR Drone 2, and then there should be different numbers after yours. And there is no passcode required. You just tap on it, it'll connect. So then you'd want to go to your AR Drone app, checking media, stuff like that. And then you have piloting, and then you have your app. I'm not going to press the takeoff button because, well, it makes the drone take off. So, first of all, you have your controls. You have forward, back, left, or strafe, left and right. And here you have your altitude controls and spinning up, down, and then spin to the left and spin to the right. So, as you heard all those noises, of course, not having physical control sticks on your hands for a professional flyer is very annoying. But what is nice is if you're looking at your drone, not the smartphone while flying, if you put your fingers here, you can still pilot. These will move anywhere you want, and so forth. So, the flipping feature on control stick mode, not absolute control mode, is just 2 taps. That's it, and then it'll flip. And you do have the battery life of your drone, not your phone. Settings, I will get to that later. Your Wi-Fi connection with the drone, the strength, emergency button. I don't like that button. And the switch cameras button, record and take a photo button. And here you have your altitude thing. You know, it'll say 1.3 meters and so forth, how high you are. And here is your speed. This is in metric, so goes up to 18 kilometers per hour, which is pretty fast. So anyway, let's get into the settings. So you have the pairing off, AR Drone network name. It's default. This is default, but you can change that. Interface opacity, USB record off. You turn that on when you have a USB stick, so it will record to that, not to your phone. Auto record, which is off, which is recording whenever your drone just turns on, or whenever your phone connects to the drone and you start piloting. Flip enabled is on. You can shut it off or on. And the flip orientation, of course, the flips are only enabled when the battery level is above 30%. Flips do take up a lot of battery power. But you can do a front flip, back flip, left flip, or right flip. I prefer front. Back is a little unstable. So next you have your altitude limit. Now your drone is default setting to 3 meters. I highly recommend not taking off that limit until you have mastered flying the drone. I have never gone to 70 meters. My highest is probably 24, and that's still pretty high for me. and I don't plan on going 70 meters because the control range is only 50 meters. So that you can figure that out. Next, you have your vertical speed max. I like mine to be at about 1,000 millimeters per second, and that's up and down, you know, going up meters, stuff like that. Rotation speed max, I like mine at 200. For some reason, my phone reset it back. That's how fast it goes. It can spin at 350 degrees per second, not full 360. Then you have the tilt angle max. I leave that at default. That adjusts how fast your drone can go at acceleration, and if it's full, it's really fast acceleration. Now for you pros, you'd like that, but I don't. I'm not a pro. Then you have the outdoor haul off. I think outdoor haul, when you switch that to on, and outdoor flight, both of those makes it a little less stable. It's still very stable, but it's you know, it's not meant for indoors because it's not as gentle, you know, it's more rugged and stuff. And then you have left-handed, which switches the controls and all your status and stuff. Now, I apologize everybody, I can't show you what absolute control looks like because for some reason the Parrot has removed that from the app. So maybe they'll bring it back. I'm very sorry, everybody, but still, even if I did have that, I would like to use control sticks. I just don't like, you know, just in my opinion. And then you have flat fur. I don't know what that means. And then it switches all your default settings, switches all your settings to default. Now the emergency button, which I am not fond of unless I'm really in an emergency. It's sorry, everybody. It shuts off all 4 engines immediately, and the drone just falls. So, and you can't regain control while it's falling. It will just fall to its doom. So, depending on how high you are, how high your drone is in the air, depends on how much damage. And now the bottom. This, of course, as I said, switches from bottom camera to forward-facing HD camera, and you know, takeoff takes the drone, makes it go up. So now you guys have seen the controls, everybody. So finally we get to go outside and check out how this epic drone flies. Okay, everybody, so now that you guys have seen the drone flying, now, of course, the review. So, there are just a few flaws, very little flaws, actually. My number one flaw is if you're using a phone or a device with a small screen, the switch the camera button is unfortunately very close to the emergency button. So just be careful when you're pressing the switch the camera button if you're using a small screen device. Just because you might hit the emergency button, and if you're in some place that you don't want to hit that, then, you know, maybe Parrot could change the app to make the switch the camera buttons in a different location, and also bring back absolute control, because in some respects I'd actually like to try that. So, other than those very few problems, the outdoor hull is sort of cheaply made, but it's mostly for protection. That's just for looks, the plastic. But, yeah, so there are very few flaws with this. It was lighter than I expected when I picked up the box, but I wasn't disappointed, because I know the lighter it is, the faster and higher it can go. Or the faster it can go and the higher it can go in speed-wise. So, other than that, flips was just either the shake of the phone or the 2 taps of the phone. That's it. There's no need to do some weird control maneuvers. That is very impressive in my opinion. So anyway, everybody, I have to rate this drone a 10 out of a 10. It's in somewhat better respects than the AR Drone 1. I don't have it, but just, you know, I've read the improvements and stuff. And it's just, Parrot did a really good job on this. It's just, they cut some corners on the app, taking out absolute control for some reason, which is, for some respects, why some people like this drone. But, other than that, thank you for watching this video review of the AR Drone 2.0. I hope you enjoyed it. I highly, highly recommend this product, although it does have a $300 price tag, which is pretty pricey, but for the overall features, you can catch your friend's eye. If this is, by just 2 presses of a button, you can get a backflip. You know, I mean, that's just amazing in my opinion. So as I've said, I highly recommend this product, although with a $300 price tag, you might have to think about that. So anyway, if you can afford this, go out and buy it. That's all that I can say. So anyway, as I've already said, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this review. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Get this epic drone. Maybe get some extra hulls, because they're pretty awesome. And yeah, so remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, everybody. And this is Mr. Sensor Prime signing out.